Okay. This talks about what goes around comes around to a certain extent. This can also mean what you put out there is what you get in, vice versa. How you allow other people to treat you, or how you carry yourself, your confidence, how you feel about yourself, can often dictate the way that somebody treats you, or can often dictate the way that we allow people to treat us. If we're having a bad day, then, we're road raging and people are being snippy with us. But if we're having a great day, you're feeling good and your hair is great and you're, whatever's going on, you'll notice a different quality of life around you. So the reciprocity of the honeybee talks about, give and take. And if we make a mistake, we make amends. And if somebody makes a mistake, we hope they make amends. This talks about, learning to work happily with others. And it's important to learn to communicate effectively, because once you have a breakdown in communication, then it can be difficult. So Aries, the honeybee coming out for you definitely tells me that some of you, well, I don't want to say this to a certain extent, and I don't bullshit or sugarcoat. So, for some of you, this is kind of like a what goes around comes around. Somebody did you bad. Now they want to come back around. They want to have a conversation with you. And it's kind of, extinct. Like, we don't want the honeybees to be extinct. So for a lot of you, you're dealing with a situation where you're like, no, after everything you put me through, you want me to come back around and be like, hey, yeah, great. Let's get together. Let's hang out. Yeah, they do, Aries. I'm getting a very succinct feeling that this person is like, Aries, it wasn't that bad. I don't know. And it's not funny, but it makes me giggle a little bit because you're looking at them. And for some of you, you're not even talking to them or you're not even answering, but like just the looks on some of y'all's faces is cracking me up. Like, who does this fool think he is? Or, this girl thinks what after? So a lot of give and take here. And for a lot of you, you gave, and they took. And now you're not interested in going back to that energy. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month. And you have the Empress. Now the Empress sees all things as, not all things, but a majority of things with a lightheartedness, with a lovingness. This is a maternal, paternal energy. The Empress definitely talks about saying, okay, I'll be the bigger person here. So for some of you, you may communicate with this person. I just have a feeling you're going to be astonished at some of the things they have to say. The Empress talks about being blessed, okay, and understanding how lucky you are and allowing love to lead your path and compassion, even if, the world around you doesn't feel like they are reciprocating that energy, or a particular person isn't reciprocating it. It's almost like, bless your heart. And it pisses them off. It's going to piss them off. There's somebody out there who's cracking up right now because this person is coming back to you going, but I miss you and why won't you talk to me? And you're like, but bless your heart, you cheated on me. That's just not going to work for me, darling. And that just pisses them off even more. And I'm not condoning playing games, but Aries, for whatever reason, you guys are coming off like lighthearted at the end of something that may still be pretty stingy, may still hurt. You may have been stung pretty hard, but you're looking at it now with the Empress fashion of, forgive and forget, and let's move on. However, this person may be very persistent. Now you have the Four of Swords, which is how you're feeling coming into the read, which is rest, relaxation, recuperation. Yeah, you may have needed to get some rest and recuperation after this. I cannot tell you, there's this overwhelming feeling of Aries going, I can't believe this person would have the audacity to, come back around, or, I want to love this person. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be nice and kind about everything that happened. But it's exhausting. This person is exhausting. Their energy is exhausting. The connection's exhausting. I'm not saying that you're cutting it off. I'm not saying that you guys are getting back together. We'll see what the cards say. But right now it's just kind of like, I need a bath and a good book, or, I need to hit the gym and sweat it out. Something that kind of keeps your mind off of it, because whatever this is, this facade that either this person's been keeping up or that you've been having to deal with is exhausting. Now, this can be reverse cross watchers, but this is Aries read. So please don't go in the comments and start, being nasty to the sign I'm reading. It can be reversed. This can be your situation and not theirs. Now, the next card you have is your distant past. So over the past few years, this talks to me like a ton, okay? Because the Magician is, you have the tools, to manifest everything you want. You just may not know how to use them, or you just may not know how to get what it is you're wanting. And for a long, long time, Aries, you've ignored this power of yours, or this ability to really go after what it is you want, and not kidding yourself. Some of you have been like, well, I really want to have kids, or I really want to get married. But then you're dating somebody who's like sworn against kids, never wants to put a ring on it. You know, marriage is a legal document that I don't need to be about. You get my point. So the universe is saying, okay, Aries, now it's time to step it up. Now it's time to say, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm heading. In the past, it's been a compromise. You've compromised, which, you know, Aries, you guys are a fire sign, but you're one of the fire signs that, well, all fire signs have the ability to love and have the emotions, but you guys are one of the ones that, can have a sensitivity towards other people's feelings in a way that it's not just, you know, hell hath no fury or whatever. But the magician is talking about, okay, the universe is saying, Aries, now's the time. What do you want? Whatever you want, you can have. But now's the time. Like, start taking some action. You know, make your realities, or make your dreams reality. And I'm not talking about, okay, tomorrow you're going to manifest the woman or man of your dreams. You're going to make, you know, your great grandma left you $30 million that you never knew about. You get my point. Within practicality and reality, you can manifest whatever you want. And the universe is saying, you've waited too long. What in the world was that? Why do I always have crazy shit happen when I'm reading for Aries? The last time I read for Aries and crazy stuff happened, we had an earthquake and my table was shaking, or we were having an aftershock from an earthquake. Now something just went off. My cat just jumped 2 feet in the air. It sounded like a bomb exploding. Sometimes I feel like Aries, ooh, shoot. And I just got the chills like none other. Sometimes I feel like Aries, we are connected on a level, I don't know, or maybe we're not connected. Maybe they're telling me, you know, Dark Dove, you make Aries crazy. I don't know what it is, but something just gave me massive chills and something just exploded in the air. Anyways, maybe you'll hear it. Maybe you won't. And now a bunch of geese are flying over. That's crazy. Y'all trip me out. Okay. Anyway, so like I was saying, this is, you know, what are you waiting for type mentality? What do you want, Aries? You can have it. Now's the time to get it. Again, practical, realistic planning. All right. The next card you have is the immediate past, or the past few months, past a few weeks. And you have the Four of Wands. Now the Four of Wands is, you know, being able to find a happiness, a resting place. Now, usually this is, you know, happy home, happy resting place, meeting somebody. It's a first completion. So it's dating and something comes to fruition where you guys decide to go exclusive, and then maybe you decide to move in together, whatever the case may be. But the Four of Wands here is telling me, I feel like somebody's coming in with an offer, or they have offered you a few times, but you're reluctant to do this because of, like, it's almost as if this person comes in, they just want to ignore the past, or they're going to come in and they're going to be like, oh, so what if I talked to your friend Lisa and was sending her sex messages, or, you know, so what if, you know, Bob was, you know, if I was trying to talk to Bobby Joe, or you get my point. This person can imagine this life with you in this way, and you're imagining this life, but I don't necessarily think that, Aries, you're ready for this person to come back in the picture, or that you're imagining this life with them. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Two Pentacles, which is balance, priorities. It's talking about making sure that if this past does come towards you, if this past does come to a point where you guys are going to reconnect, that it is, it's not going to tip your balance. The thing, Aries, is that you guys have so many things to be thankful for, so many blessings. And a lot of you would say, you know, amen. I've got family, I've got friends, I've got fur babies, I've got kids, and whatever it is for you that brings some blessings. And there's been toxicity before that has played a big part in how your life is kind of evolved in a particular relationship. And it could be over a few different relationships. And now it's like, you have your balance, you're finding your reciprocity, you're figuring out, you know, what I put out into the universe and how I put it out. You know, I wish everybody and their brother well. And, you know, I wish the best even for people who have, you know, completely screwed me over. I'm going to be the bigger person and do that. and it's coming back to you, Aries, and it's going to continue for quite a while. They're telling me like 4 months, there's going to be a lot of new doors opening, a lot of blessings. So you need to decide, well, you don't have to do anything. This is entertainment purposes only, but my suggestion is figuring out what keeps you balanced and what keeps you progressing and what opportunities are coming your way, and which ones feel good and which ones maybe feel like it's not the right decision at the time. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks throughout November, and you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups has been coming up in a lot of reads the past couple of days. The Seven of Cups is temptation. It's choices, options. Two things going on here, Aries. One, you're going to have options and people coming towards you. You may already have had this option. There's somebody there. It feels like there's somebody from the past and somebody from the present who could be potentially here. Because almost like somebody, and this could be for one person out there, somebody's really wanting to rush into something with you. Like they want the whole kit and caboodle with you. And you're like, hold up. I just learn to start, forgiving assholes again and learning to, forgive and forget. Like, I don't know that I can do this yet, but not that you would be against it, because it would be a beautiful thing if that's what you want. But the Seven of Cups, again, is temptation, choices, options. I do think that you're going to have opportunities to have fun, to enjoy yourself. And I would take advantage of those opportunities. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't owe anybody anything. You're not, for a lot of you, you're not in, this isn't a relationship read. So if that's what you're looking for, this is the wrong read for you. This is about, enjoying yourself. But this is upsetting the past, because the past, I think for some of you, can see that you're having fun or that you're looking. Maybe you've bumped into them on an online dating site, or, they're seeing a social media posts where you're enjoying yourself and they're kind of like, but I'm in misery over here, Aries. Why aren't you joining me in this misery? Misery loves company. So you're going to have some opportunities or some choices to meet new people and have fun. The biggest word here, though, is temptation. So just be careful with that. This isn't coming across as like the person who is like the rest of your life type temptation. This is more of a, you're cute. Let's have a makeout session. The next card you have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is romance, whimsy, dreamy. So Aries, there's going to be suitors who are very attracted to you. They already are attracted to you. A lot of you may come on and say, hey, Dark Dove, I have people who are interested in me. And it's because you've built yourself up to this stage. You've built yourself up to, instead of the, nitty gritty, this pisses me off and I've dealt with this and you're able to look at beyond it. Like I said, you're able to be like, bless your heart, which the Knight of Cups looks at you and goes, oh, Aries, you're dreamy. You're wonderful. So you're going to have some opportunities for suitor. You have somebody from the past who doesn't like it. They don't really have a choice, but they do want to be included in that, possible lineup. The next card you have is the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is how you're feeling throughout the month. And the Queen of Swords is very honest, but can also be very critical. So if you're talking to somebody from the past, I have a feeling that you are doing a lot of, yeah, but you need to pay attention, or, you really screwed me over here. You really you're no holds bar. And if they don't want to stick around and listen to it, they don't have to. But at some point they're going to need to, if they truly want back in. Because the Queen of Swords, again, is very honest and has learned a lot, very wise, but can also be very critical and have no problem telling you like it is. And for a lot of you, this person that you're dealing with from the past doesn't like the fact that you're talking to other people. Somehow they know. For a lot of you, some of them they don't, but for a lot of you, this person knows, or they understand that, they screwed up, or even maybe you screwed up, but whatever the case may be, like I said, it can be reversed. They're not enjoying kind of sitting back and not saying anything, but at the same time, they don't want to demand like, Aries, we need to try this again, or Aries, I want your time or attention, because they know that's not going to work with you either. The next card you have are your hopes and fears. And really what it comes down to is working on yourself, working on making sure you're getting rest and recuperating when you need to. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about understanding that relationships take work. This is hardworking. This is somebody who, it knows that every aspect of life takes work. So if you're wanting to work on the past, you'll work on the past. If you're wanting to work on the future, you'll work on the future. And hell, Aries, if you want to work on both and see which one, suits you best, or, give the past a chance to at least communicate, but then also give yourself the chance to meet new people, you can have both. It's not, right now, you don't owe anybody anything. Okay. Then you have the Four of Cups coming out here, which is your biggest fear with this person. It's your outcome. And this ex-person who wants to come in so badly, the thing that you're worried about